taxation issues, but yes, that's something that we ought to be talking to people about.
Yeah, well, yes, no, I think the fair trade is something is a big conversation that needs to come around, because
Well,
as
free,
long as we support
yeah.
you know, this easy sort of what we consider cheap products, we are harming our own economy.
Well, we are,
Um,
and also this idea of free trade is basically the big countries wanting to force all their goods and services onto the small countries. It's free trade is not so much about the poorer, impoverished countries um, getting a step up. It's about screwing them down on prices and then you know providing them with as much of your products as possible, whether it be chlorinated chicken or something, or growth hormone fed beef. Yeah, so yeah, we need to be able to stand up and say, no, we need to protect our farming industry, because we might need to be able to feed ourselves in a time of difficulty when stuff is not arriving. The Isle of Man doesn't want to be a food bank case on piggybacking on the back of Ireland or the UK or somewhere.
I mean, how proactive should the government be in making people aware of of the decisions, if they, I mean, to have produce and choice here, that requires that people buy the products here. Now, potentially, they have a potential to be more expensive,
Well,
but in the longer term, you will have you have jobs, you have an economy. I mean, often there isn't very much difference, and if you bulk buy from Amazon, you're not really helping yourself.
no,
But is
no,
that something
well,
the government should educate people about?
well, yeah, we need to keep hammering home that message wherever possible. Buy local, but obviously people are expecting, if they're paying a bit more, that it is good quality what they're getting from it. And I think a lot of Manx produce is, certainly things have improved, but there's a lot more we could be doing, and it's
And of
not,
course,
not
if you're
protecting people that
poor,
are bad at their business. But at the moment, again, we changed that system whereby we're not paying people to produce stuff, so we just give them an amount of money and they make the decision. So it might be they're growing something because it sells for a higher price, but it's not necessarily going to be of benefit directly to the population of the Isle of Man if suddenly we're short of meat, dairy products, bread, you name it.
have to be. That's good. Yeah, we did a big meeting with the farmers' union, and it was route to market was the problem,
Yeah,
which you might be aware of or not. It goes off, comes back in pies or whatever.
yeah.
They just can't get it. And then the second problem is we're limited to a degree of what we can grow here.
Well, we are, but then we have opportunities to actually grow stuff hydroponically
Well, yeah.
and the like. And again, we ought to be processing more stuff on island. So if it's talking about sending meat off and turning it into pies somewhere else, why aren't we turning into pies over here? And there's some quite good pie manufacturers or companies over here making pies and ready-made meals. If we live in a microwave generation, why are we importing microwave meals?
Yeah.
When we could be doing that more locally. So yeah, there's we need to add value to something rather than I've said for years, we're not just selling Queenies, we're not just selling cheese, we're selling your Queenie Mornay, and that's going to command a bit more premium price.
Yeah.
So and maybe again opens up export markets. I know we're exporting stuff, but again, from what I'm told, some of the stuff we catch here goes all the way to the Far East, gets cleaned, and then sent all the way back again. Madness, if that is the case.
Yeah. No, I agree there. We've probably done nothing, but I would take a look at this evening. Well, you can take a look now actually, where I've got them up on the screen. There's any increase in the burden of tax. So the island's journey to carbon neutral could cost the public and private sectors 25 million a year over the next 30 years.
Who says that?
That's that's Alistair's.
Right. So he doesn't say
Potentially could.
Yeah.
Yeah, but potentially you could vary. I mean, there is an argument. Certainly, I don't think it's a reasonable argument because we could achieve carbon neutrality very cheaply. But I mean, well,
Yeah.
that's your answer there.
Well, that's right. Well, that's it. I'd just say that. Plus, also, we've currently, um, because of foolish decisions in the past, we have basically a utilities company that its debts far outweigh its assets.
Yeah.
Therefore, why are we going to continue with that paradigm? When if we get it right in terms of renewables, we get something for nothing.
Yeah.